여러분 안녕하십니까. 이상구 박사입니다. 제가 오늘은 그동안에 고대하고 고대했던 모시고자 했던 우리 야코 교수님을 어렵사리 우리 한국에 모신 게 아니라 바로 우리 이상구 바이오에 모시게 되었습니다. 자, 그래서 우리 이 핀란드 말로는 매우 공손한 표현으로 테르베라고 하는데, 제가 테르베 하면 여러분들 박수 한번 쳐주시죠. 테르베. 테르베. 자, 제가 그동안에 그 당뇨에 관련된 회복이 되거나 개선됐던 분들을 모든 데이터들을 병원 기록을 다 모아서 제가 책을 냈었잖아요. 거기에 추천사를 A4 용지 한 장을 써주셨던 바로 그 핀란드 헬싱키 의과대학의 야코 교수님. 우리 야코 교수님은 지금 이제 퇴직한 지가 13년이 되어졌지만은 최근에 그 논문에 과거에 썼던 그 피 인용 지수가 엄청나게 거의 매일 하루에 200회씩 증가하는, 그래 현존하는 거의 그야말로 이 기록 보유자라고 할 수가 있겠습니다. 왜냐하면 이 논문 피 인용 지수가 46만 4천회가 넘어요. 정말 어마어마한 숫자에다가 H 인덱스라고 해서 그 학자의 업적의 영향력을 나타내는 지수인데 이게 285나 됩니다. 그런 우리 야코 교수님하고 제가 이렇게 해서 2018년에 만나게 되어서 2019년, 2020년, 그래서 2023년 코로나 이후에 여기까지 왔습니다. 그래서 야코 교수님하고 하도록 하겠습니다. 저는 좀 목이 마르니까 물 좀 한잔 하겠습니다. Okay, as we said, Terbe from the beginning. So, Professor Jaakko, would you introduce about you? I said already, but would you? About you?
About me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Jaakko Tuomilehto from Helsinki, Finland. I'm a professor of public health at the University of Helsinki, and I'm also working at the Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare, which is a national research institute in Helsinki. I have been doing my research career during the last 50 years in many different areas in the cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, dementia, lifestyle, and carrying out both clinical research and population research to look at the risk factors and causes of different diseases, and most importantly, I have been working in the area of prevention of chronic diseases, which has been very demanding, but the results have been very good. We have been able to show how to prevent cardiovascular disease, how to prevent diabetes, how to prevent dementia. So I'm still continuing to work in these fields, and also not only in Finland but internationally. I have a collaboration in many different countries, and we have many different multinational studies ongoing, and new ones planning.
Okay. Actually, it was very great honor for us as representing the 239 Bio Incorporated here. And also, I introduced about our product, including DND or DNDR, or several kinds of products today. And then your presentation at my company, the title was the changing the lifestyle to reduce the risk factors for the diabetes. And then it is not limited to Finland, but widely spread out to the internationally, and so the international spectrum. I think it will be welcome for prevent the diabetes. In a sense, your citations these days marvelously increased to more than 464,000. I think it is for the research, it is kind of honor, but how is that? Nearly most of the scholars these days, the maximum citation will be 100,000, but you are nearly more than 4 times. I think it is a remarkable record high. So what do you think about that? I would say the kind of phenomena. So what do you think about it?
Well, I have been lucky to have a good collaboration, good partners to work with, because today it is not possible to do successful research alone. So you have to have a good team and good collaboration, and I have had both of them. Also, I have been lucky to pick up the areas of research which have been in the top rank. When I started my career 50 years ago, then the cardiovascular disease was very common in many different countries, and then I realized that diabetes is increasing, and then later on that the dementia is increasing. So I have been able to carry out the research in the areas which have been very important, and therefore the work has been also cited when we have published the results. And again, we have been lucky to be successful in our studies, especially in the field of prevention.
Yeah, in a sense, I totally believe and totally agree with your agenda today. By reducing the risk factors, maybe it was five categories today.
Mm-hmm.
So by reducing the risk factors, I think in a sense the collaboration and cooperation with my product or with my research results, I think it will be widely applied to the diabetes patients, including T1DM or T2DM. But as I said, we already have a quite successful storage for the male sexually dysfunctional problem patients, and then the male infertility. Of course, the diabetes too. So you are the marvelous scholars holding the world. So what kind of collaboration or cooperation with me will be in the forthcoming years?
It is really a great pleasure to be here today and discuss potentials for collaboration, as we have been discussing already in the past. And I see that especially in the prevention and treatment of type 2 diabetes is an area which needs new approaches, and the products that are now produced from this company will definitely be helpful. However, they need to be tested in the patients, and we need to identify the right patients that benefit most from these products. And this requires a lot of research, but everything in the health sector which is new requires a lot of research in order to understand how different products can be used. I have to remember, for instance, that in the 1980s a lot of vitamin products were introduced to prevent cardiovascular disease and cancer, and when they were tested in the clinical trials, they actually increased the cancer and increased the cardiovascular disease. So sometimes we think that a product is very good and helpful, but without having the proper scientific knowledge, we are not able to tell exactly who will benefit most from these kind of products.
Okay, you are the experts in the cardiovascular disease. That is, we call that CVD, and the dementia. I think, in a sense, it linked together, because from my research results for the male infertility, and then in a sense the blood circulation was very helpful to the person who was suffering from the infertility or the sexually dysfunctional problem people. And then, what do you think your expertise is the dementia and the CVD? Of course, the diabetes too. So, if we improve our blood circulation problem, then the dementia or the CVD will be the risk factor will be reduced. Do you think, Philip? So?
Oh yes, that is true. The risk factors for dementia are the same as for cardiovascular disease. So when we are handling these factors, then both diseases can be prevented very efficiently. And this is something that we have found out that we can prevent also dementia with modification of risk factors. When it comes to the male sexual dysfunction, erectile dysfunction, there our knowledge has been less clear which are the risk factors, but certainly cardiovascular disease patients, they do have a increased risk of dysfunction, and also the diabetes is increasing the risk. So it is very important to pay attention to these issues, and hope that we have ways, non-pharmacologic ways to handle it.
Okay, and according to our 575 clinical research reports, and then of course it was included the T1DM and T2DM, even the LADA types, but the modern medical society, they said the destroyed pancreatic beta cell is not incurable, and then cannot be recoverable. But it was 2020, January 20 in 2020, right before the COVID-19. And then I asked the recommendation about my results, I mean the book, and then you write very long recommendations to me. But the situation here in Korea, from the medical society, and then very worst comments over my results. And then I think you are very brave. How can you write those longer, lengthier writings as a recommendation for the D&D? So would you say about the why?
Well, first of all, the evidence from the animal models looks very, very promising, and shows that the beta cells can be recovered. We know also in diabetic patients that the beta cells can be recovered. For instance, in the very obese individuals, after, for instance, the metabolic surgery or very strong weight reduction, beta cells in patients with type 2 diabetes, they are improving. So we know that things can happen, and we thought in the past that in type 1 diabetes the beta cells are 100% destroyed, but they are not. In the early times, many patients do still have some beta cell function and some cells there, and these can be recovered. So therefore I believe that the D products could be one of the modern therapies in the individuals who have diabetes and who have some beta cell capacity left, and then the beta cells can be regenerated, and medications, for instance insulin and oral tablets, can be reduced in these patients. So from that point of view, a very promising. I feel it's a very promising approach.
Okay, thank you for the your compliments over the my research results. And you are the president of the World Community for the Diabetes Prevention, right?
Yeah.
So maybe in the forthcoming years, if we invite D&D or my products or about my research, and then I will join, because linking together with the CVD and the diabetes and the dementia, I think the one of the problem is the blood circulation for the modern people. So in a sense, we already chat about the antioxidant and anti-inflammation, and then the diabetes patients, and then the circulation problem or the constipation too. So if we invite to your WCPD, and then I will go, and then I will present myself with you together. Is it okay?
That will be very good. Yeah, this foundation, World Community for Prevention of Diabetes, is looking for partnerships from various types of collaborators and industry to promote globally the prevention of diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And this is especially important for the low-income countries where they have difficulties in even measuring glucose in the blood, and cannot afford medical treatments. Therefore, these sort of non-pharmacologic approaches really are important, because they are safe and potential very useful in these countries.
Okay, Professor Jaakko, thank you for being here with us today. And then personally, I really hope in the forthcoming years, very near future, I hope you will be a Nobel Prize for Medicine and Physiology winners. Okay? We pray for that. Okay?
Thank you.
Nobel Prize in Medicine, Professor Jaakko. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
감사합니다.